Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Good morning, I hope you guys had an amazing start of 2023. I'm about to, hopefully, because we're going to the dyno for CBS's biggest project yet, and that's the MK4 Supra with the build engine, the build twins and the BMW DCT. And they got the DCT working this week, but I had to work and I was sick most of the week. So I haven't been able to go there to the tuner, and they are tuning it right now. They're gonna do some power runs today. The engine should be done with tuning today, and the trend should be done, so it should be done today. And we're just gonna have a look, because I've worked quite some hours on that car. I made the intercooler piping, I made oil lines, I did the trans swap. I did quite a lot on that car, so I want to be there when it gets tuned, and I'm taking you guys along. So we arrived at the dyno, but Simon from CBS isn't here yet, and he should be. So I'm just gonna have a look inside if we're still tuning today, and otherwise we're going home again. But I think we're gonna tune it today, and that Simon is just a little late. So as you guys know, it's a tradition when I build a car and we go to VPR to tune it. It's got boost leaks. So this one had a small boost leak. Well, not small, it was quite big, but it was just one. And we fixed it so we can tune it again. But it was a little bit butt clenching when I got here that it didn't work, and Simon was on his way. He's here, by the way. But yeah, let's tune it. On our way back from the dyno, we had a little issue with an actuator for the turbos, so we had a few runs with full boost with just pinching some vacuum lines, but we need to fix that. And after that they were tuning the transmission, and as you could hear, the DCT is working and it sounds amazing. So amazing that I want one in the S13. I know I wanted to do a Lexus 220D transmission because it's stronger than the R154 that I have right now, but DCT is the way to go, I think. And you can just put a shifter in, you can shift like a manual, you can put a clutch pedal in, just an electric clutch pedal, so I can do clutch kicks, I can just actually use it as a manual. But you can also just put it in automatic for road trips and stuff, and it's just way stronger, and it's freaking cool. So I think we're gonna do DCT. It's not way more expensive than the Lexus 220D Trans, so I think DCT is the way. But they are still tuning it a little bit, and we need to go back for full power runs when we change the actuator. But right now we're just going home, because there is lots to do in the Lith shop. We got 2 S13s to fix, and I think we're gonna start on the Saab, that thing. So yeah, back to the Lith shop. And we're back in the shop, and currently we're taking out the steering wheel from the Punto, so I can see why the little screen, the pop-up head display thing, isn't working. And that's because it's Italian. And Italian car makers with electricity isn't the best combination, so I tried to fix it by taking off the little module with the blinker handles, because I think there's a shortage in there. And then I'm gonna take out the cluster from the gray S13, because the tag doesn't, no, the tag works, but the speedo doesn't work. And that's a common thing with those clusters, that there's just a little bad connection in there. So I'm gonna take that out and take the steering wheel out and see if we can fix both. And another little nerve-wracking thing with the Punto, they decided to use a Torx in there for the steering wheel, so now I need to impact a Torx. And every mechanic watching knows that that's a really terrifying thing to do. Alright, let's break this Torx bit. Always put pressure on it so you know for sure that it that it is in deep enough. Whoa! Alright. That worked perfectly. So a little tip that probably every YouTuber that you ever watched told you, but when you take off the steering wheel, put the nut or the bolt back in, just a few threads, so it is in there, because then when you pull the steering wheel off, you're not gonna knock yourself out. So now, that was way too easy. That was way too easy. Nobody's gonna believe that I didn't take it off before. Why did that go so easy? Now feed the wires and the connectors through there, and then you successfully took off your wheel. So I got the cluster out of the S13, and we got the little switch thing from the Punto, and now I need to open both and see if there is a bad connection or a broken wire or anything like that, because they both don't work properly and it needs to work. So let's figure out why they don't. I had the module open and I cleaned the contact points, but I couldn't really see anything wrong with it because it's really simple and it's almost just all plastic. So I was looking over here if I could find anything else that would be wrong or just a bad connection. I also took out the cluster, opened it, but there's nothing to see there either. So for now I'm leaving the Punto and I'm going to do some research with common problems and I can look into that. And I also opened the cluster from the S13 and I couldn't really see anything wrong with that, other than the solder points on the speedo were a little bit dirty. I re-soldered them and maybe that fixed it, and otherwise I don't know what's the problem with that one. And I'm gonna look into the wiring in the car, and I'm not putting it back together yet so my brother can polish the plastic because it's off now and it's not a lot of work to polish it quickly so it looks nice again. So for now I'm going to leave it like this. And that's going to be it for this video. So the updates on the cluster and the Punto is going to be in the next video. If you enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe down below, and I'll see you guys at the next one. Speedo were a little bit dirty, so I re-soldered there. So for now it's the end of the